Alright, Oil and Gas Act, Illinois. Subpartd spacing on the wells, definitions 400. Gas means mixture of hydrocarbons, varied quantities of non-hydrocarbons of the gaseous state of which may have been associated with oil, those with the liquid or stream of the condensation, not including the casing of the head gas. Gas well means a well that has gas production ratio equal to greater than 10,000 cubic feet of the gas of the 1 barrel of oil. Pool unit, special unit created by combining separate mineral interests, depositing lease agreement with the pool's declaration, integration, order of the issue of the department. Drilling units for the oil well. The department shall not issue for the drilling of a deep of the well production oil with the Illinois for over the well locations with the 10 acre surface of the area with the line in the quarter section of the land. Establishing official with the United States public lands over the location of the well should not be less than 330 feet with the nearest lease of the boundary line, except for the boundary line located with the pool unit of the location not less than 330 feet. Nearest location producing well with the well being drilled with the well with a permit have not previously been issued, not been drilled. Same individual reservoir location not within 10 feet with the of the unit boundary line. 2 of the permission for the non gave the drill any further pursuant of the provisional lease of the existing of the prior of the April 22nd, 2016. The obligation shall be determined with the extent of the relevant applicable of the regulation effective of the date of the lease of the gas well. The department shall not issue the permit of the deepening of the well production of the gas of the state of Illinois unless the proposed well of the locations paid with the conforming of the following drilling units and acre with the line with a square quarter section of land with the official of the United States Public Land Survey for well drill with the deep and the production of the gas of the survey, the limestone with the dolomite with the top of the less than 2,000 feet beneath the surface of the location of the wells shall not be less than 330 feet. Nearest lease of the external boundary line, any lease boundary line with a located pool unit with a location not less than 330 feet. The newest location with the production well being drilled. Well for a permit that has been issued with the well not yet drilled. With the well, same with the individual with the location not less than 10 feet with the nearest drilling underground drilling unit boundary line, 20 acres surface of the area lying east and west and north of the south of 1/2 of the quarter section of land established with the official of the United States with the public survey. The wells drilled with the deepest in production over the oil gas line, stone with the dolomite reservoir over the top of the less than within 2,000 feet beneath the surface. The location of the well should not be 330 feet, but it needs to leave the boundary line except with the lease of the boundary line located with the pool unit location not less than 330 feet near the location of the production of the well being drilled with the well with which the permits previously issued but not been yet drilled with the well. Same individual reservoir location would not be 10 feet nearest drilling unit boundary line. 40 acres of the surface area line quarter section of land established with the official land public land survey with a drill with a deep in the production and the gap of the reservoir on the top of the line with the between the 2,000 feet with the low of the 5,000 feet with the top of the linear group with the depth of the grave of the location of the well not less than 330 feet with the nearest lease boundary line except with any of the lease boundary line and pooled unit location no less than 330 feet with the nearest location producing well with the well drill with the permit with the B issue with the nearest year with the yet drill with the well with the same with the individual reservoir location not less than 10 feet with the nearest unit drawn boundary line. Establishing deep and drilling into the deep gap with the cave of the well drill with the deepest of the production and gap of the reservoir of the line 5,000 feet with the top of the gallon line group of the formation of the depth of the group with no permanent with the exploratory of the well with the view of the providing safely location provided with the 160 areas the area of the line with the core section of the line except with the United States established by the United States Public Land Survey with the well location with the 600 feet with the 660 feet with the nearest boundary line and the least boundary located with the pool with the location not less than 10 feet with the nearest drilling under unit boundary line. After the completion of exploratory well with the prior of the commencement production activity, the application shall be made with the Department of Adoption of the rules spacing of the well location requirement of the reservoir with the reservoir is complete. Application identified with the land zone of the reservoir space of the well location requested shall include the geological, economic, engineering studies and reports under the requested space of the well locations are made within 20 days of the receipt of the application. The department shall approve the space of the location of the reservoir with the reservoir accordance Section 540 of the Illinois Administrative Procedure Act shall for the notice of the public hearing will commence with no later than 20 days after the publication of the rule making of the Illinois Register for the addition of the notice of the requirement of the Illinois Administrative Procedure of the Act. Application note of the public hearing on the 10 day prior of the day of the hearing of the permit records of the leasehold as well with the lease of the within a quarter mile of the area that described in the proposed rule of the first mail with the posted prepaid with the publication of the newspaper, the general circulation in county with the proportion of the area described proposed rules located. The public hearing over the conduct of the corner provision section 243, 7 D4 and D5 with the department's fully within consider the regular the public hearing any over the public comment with the receipt of the first notice of the period of the prior to commencement of the second notice of the source of the charge change of the proposed rule of the necessary prevent waste of the correlative rights of the prevent unnecessary drilling of the wells. Coal bedded gas wells. The department shall not issue the permit with the drilling with the deepening of the well protection with the coal bed with the unseen with the coal with the unless for the proposed well location space to conform with the drilling unit where 10 surface areas lying with a quarter section land except for the established with the official United States Public Land Survey Land shall be not less than 330 feet with the nearest lease boundary line, except for the lease boundary line, except for the pool unit location not less than 330 feet with the newest location production well being with a drill with which the permit previously issued with a drought and drilled. If the same individual reservoir, the location shall not be 10 feet with the nearest drilling unit boundary line. Coal mine gas mine well with a well drilled mine vial with a piler mined out with the area of production gas and abandoned coal mine except for the spacing requirements of part. Other wells, Class 2 UICL wells, coal, mineral structural tests over the observation water supply wells, due to the relation of oil, gas production, gas storage wells, or with the exemption of the requirements of the section. And new well location shall not be less than 200 feet with the nearest occupied drilling existing with a time permit application for all with the department and left of the permit obtains with a written agreement that serves the owner of the dwelling with the located specifically allowing the closer well location. And that was 244.10. Changing of the permitted drilling location on the permitted with the issue of the prior to commencement of the permitted drill with the permitted with the impact of drill with the permitted level without approval of the department of the new location with the 60 feet with the permanent location provided with the admitted location meet with the requirements of subsection 244.10 with the location exemption with the 244.20 surveyed amendment with the application show with the amended location reason location moved submitted with the department within days after the location if the proposed location within 60 feet of the permitted location provided amended location meet with the requirements of section 244.10 with location exemption with 244.10 surveyed amended the application for this permit is shown with the pursued with location with the region of the location required for the approval of the location from the chief of the department and prior with the commencing of the drilling well is lost, collapse, placing of the hole of the drill with the permit may terminate drilling and rig up to 30 feet of the permitted location commencement of the drilling operation provided permit notified by the district office for the prior of the move of the receive with approval. New application fee is submitted within 10 days according to section 242.20 and new location is compliant with all other requirements of this part. That was 244.25, change of permitted drilling. Drilling unit exemption. In this case, the regular spacing section will contain not less than 640 acres of the area of the United States government have made official survey of the area of the old French survey grants of the memorandum around the government lot subdivision of the acreage of the quarter section. Quarter section not confirmed the requirements of 244.10 with the department established the drilling unit with the wish of the drilling units down with the grade with the well density with the encounter with the regular official survey the relative of the distance between the wells external with the drilling units boundary line specified in 244.10. If proposed oil with the well be an oil enhanced recovery project is based on the requirements of oil gas production wells as strongly expect is provided in subsection B2 of the drilling unit well location subsection 244.10 do not apply with the oil to an oil well as part of the enhanced oil recovery project with the purpose of the Subpartd enhanced oil recovery project relief of the unit part of the group of the lease of the operating under the agreement that provide with the sharing production of all the owners of the unit which one or more enhanced oil recovery injection well with permitted in operation time and the application permitted to drill with the operating oil well is filed. Enhanced oil recovery injection well with the operation injection of the reservoir will be produced in order to projection of the class of the enhanced oil of the recovery project. Oil wells drilled in accordance with the section of the subsection shall be not less than 330 feet of the nearest lease boundary unit. Boundary exempt at the time of allocation mediation of the producing located less than 330 feet of the common boundary line with the proposed well, but located with a distance of 330 feet, no closer to the distance to the common boundary line immediately offsetting the well, with the proposed well with the post primary with the recovery well with the space and requirement shall be with the 244.10. New drilling unit with the designated with the consisting of the two or more drilling units size shaped in the location of the required in the 244.10 located in the same reservoir where at least one half of the drilling units make up of the drilling required to contain at least one new plug the non-producing well. New drilling units shall contain with any of the drilling well actively produced the individual reservoir of the new drilling units may cross section lines reservoir with the top lies less than 4,000 feet beneath the strip of the well shall be not less than 330 feet within the external boundary lines. New drilling units less than 660 feet the nearest line of the producing well of the drill of the well shall the permit of the previous has been issued with under the well has not been drilled in the same individual reservoir of the top lie with the below 4,000 feet beneath the strip of the well shall not be 330 feet with the nearest external boundary line of the new drilling units not less than 900 feet with the nearest location producing well of the well being drilled with the well for the permit previously has been issued but under which the well has not been yet drilled under individual reservoir. And that was 244.30 drilling unit exemptions. More than one well drilled on drilling unit, different reservoirs, allocating acreage drilling units, each producing reservoir specified in section 244.10. Directional drill with a wellbore, personally with a DVD with a vertical insert and a sec with a plan zone with a production projection surface located within the location of the well spell for the permanent for directional drilled well with a directional unit established well with a permanent reference location of the well with a proposed to complete with a portion of the reservoir exposed with the wellbore shall be with the well location space with the requirements specified in section 244.10, section 244.60 modified units. The direction drill with a well with a drill with more than one directional hole signal vertical well bore with each directional hole should be considered with a separate well with a permanent conforms with subpart B. Horizontal drilling. In principle, the subpart of a horizontal well with the original or overall length of the reservoir, twice of the thickness of the reservoir, with the oil gas may be developed within one horizontal drain hole of the drill with a single vertical well bore with it may be considered with a single of the well per one corner of the provision subpart B. If the proposed well, horizontal well with the part of the enhanced oil recovery project with the space of the requirement of all of the portion horizontal drain drill holes to comply with section 244.30B. With a horizontal well, the space requirements comply with the 240.10 horizontal drilling unit designated with to a more drilling unit size, shape, and the location required with the well with the same depth and accordance with the 240.410 horizontal drilling units cross section line with a horizontal well described in subsection D with the L with a portion with a horizontal drain hole may travel in either direction initial for the effective the production of the drilling unit not less than 330 feet with the nearest lease and boundary of the line with the boundary line located with the pooled unit should not be less than 330 feet with the nearest location of the proposed well with the well and we drill with the well with a permit have been previously issued with no under the which have not been drilled with the end of the same individual reservoir horizontal drilling unit configuration over the notice level of subpart D, subsection D with the necessary with the beginning of the geological reservoir condition with the modified with the special drilling units required in compliance with section 244.60 and 465. 244.60 modified drilling unit. The department shall schedule the hearing with the consider the position of the modification location sand drilling unit under section 244.10 with the geological engineering characteristic reservoir relative to the land survey system specified in section 244.10. Well density specified in 246.465. The position any of the person having the interest in oil gas lease drilling unit proposed unit that does not favor the division created by the official of the United States Public Land Survey specified in section 244.10. Department shall initiate review of the penitentiary with the determine whether the position will be accepted the permit except for the public hearing with the schedule with the pursuant of subsection E. Contents of the position should include the name and address of the position on the legal description of the drilling unit, so to be established the description of the position's interest in oil and gas drilling unit in the issue, potential geological engineering reason for the requesting modified drilling unit, execution and filing. If the position of the modified with the drilling unit, according to the section of the established special drilling unit, according to the section 244.65, shall be the department located in Springfield, Illinois. Every position signed with the position of his or her representative of the position of the address shall be the date of the position, signature of the position of his representative of the council with certified by him or her, or he or she who read the position so to the best of his or her knowledge, information, and belief of the good ground of the support of the petition. Petition shall be accompanied with a non-refutable application with amount with $1,500 of the position that does not be acceptable the position for the falsified otherwise misstated information on the relevant position. Petitioner failed with the abate with the violation act of the successful of the final administration of the decision of the department and office of the director, agency, power of the attorney, or partner of the petition of the person with the interest of the petition exceeding 5% of the what, or it is an official of the director of the partner, agent, and power of the attorney, person with the interest of the 5% of any of any failed to abate the violation of the act successful with the final administration of the decision of the department. If the petitioner was an officer of the director, agent, of the power of the attorney, partner of the person with the interest of exceeding 5% of another entity, with the have the failed to abate with the violation act of the final administrative decision of the department. Funds of expended with the remain with the outside of the PRF unplugged with the well subpart P with the position of the previous permanent with the was officer with the director, agent with the power of the attorney, partner, and person with the interest of the 5% of the permanent E was funds with the was expended with the officer with the officer of the director, agent with the power of the attorney, petition with the person with the interest with the proceeds 5% of the officer of the director, agent, power of the attorney, partner with the person with the interest of the 5% of the permanent E with which the funds was expended. And for the position with the dealing with the payment of the annual well fee for the position was an officer of the director, agent, power of the attorney, partner of the person with an interest exceeding 5% of the person with the link for the payment of the annual well fee for the officer of the director, agent with the power of the attorney, partner of the position person with the interest of the applicant exceeding 5% of the permittee with the believers dealing when payment of the annual well fee for the department and funds the position deficient with the relative of the requirements of subsection C2 and 3 of the position shall not be accepted with the department shall be the issue of the right of deficiency no over the position of the 10 business days after the receipt of the position of the strong deficiency within 60 days days of the petition will be deemed denied. If the department found the petition deficient relative to the requirement of subsection A and B of the department shall have the right and deficiency of the notice of the petition within 10 days after the receipt of the does time of the respond of the deficiency 60 days of the petition will be deemed within 60 days after the receipt of the petition and no subsection D5 of the petition may recover the writing of the petition and accept the public hearing will be held in lieu of the responding deficiencies. The department does not timely respond with the petition submission of additional information and documentation initial submission with an intent business day with the receipt of the petition shall be deemed with a sufficient with acceptable filing. The department shall pursue with a schedule of the public hearing. Public hearing of the petition shall not be less than 30 days with no more than 60 days with acceptance of the petition of the department and notes for the hearing shall be given in the petition of the minor owners of the boundary set forth of the petition over the permitted of the well of the lease of the within a quarter mile of the boundary of the lease of the drawing unit of the U.S. Postal Service certified mail with the mail requested receipt requested by the publication on the newspaper general circulation in each county with any of the portion proposed lease for the drawing unit located with at least 10 days prior to the hearing, and shall include the name and address of the petition and the date of the hearing, legal name of the description of the drawing unit to be sought to establish geological name and the depth of the proposed production formation, address the telephone number to the office of the oil and gas resource management of the department, and notice of the be mailed with the statement of the recipient in 14 days of the day with the mail of the notice statutory stated and notice of the comment of the petition and the comments for the made and the written for the writing to the office. As the newspaper publication note of the time of the public has 10 days of the day with the publication notice that say with the public the notice of comment with the position comments must be made with the writing of the office of the pre-hearing conference. Alright, upon his or her own motion of the party, hearing off the director of the party with the council will meet with the competent order with the simplified with the factual legal issue with the present with the hearing request to receive the stipulation of the admission of the fact with the council with the authenticity with the document exchange the list of the witnesses party with the identified with the testify with the all of the document party with the intent with the duty for the evidence with the hearing with the solve with the resolve with all the other matters made attend expedite with the disposition of the hearing request to share with the just pre-hearing conference may be held with a telephone conference video conference or other electronic meeting procedure acceptable to the party hearing officer of the every hearing officer of the hearing shall be conducted with the hearing officer with the director of the hearing officer shall have with the necessary action and avoid with the delay with the maintained order to develop a clear and complete record with all of the power necessary with the appropriate to conduct with the fair with the hearing with the render of the decision on the petition including the following. To administer the oath and information received with the relevant evidence to regulate with the course of the hearing with the conduct with the parties on their counsel with the consider the rule of the bond procedure will require to examine the witness with the direct witness with the testimony with the limited number of time with the witness may testify with the limited representative with the community with the testimony except with a reasonable limited with the amount of time each witness may testify with the required with the production of the document of subpoena with the appearance of the witness with the hearing officer the motion with the good with the cause of the shown with the party with the record. All hearings are public with the held with the complaint with the American Disability Act with the 1940 with the hearing over the will be held with the location with the hearing officer with the hearing officer will be hearing location with the comply with the geographical requirements imposed with the applicable level of the extent feasible promote with the conveyance with the part of the conservation of the department reach all of the hearing subject with the cancellation with the notice interested person may contact with the department of the hearing officer with the information around with the hearing of the parties with the participant members of the public must conduct with themselves with the decorum of the hearing from the motion of the part of the hearing officer may order with the hearing be held by the telephone conference the video conference or other electronic means to decide whether the hearing should be the telephone conference the video conference or electronic means effective with the hearing officer shall include the cost effectiveness and sufficiency facility accommodation witness availability public interest of the party the preference of the proceeding the complexities and contingencies. Every interested party who is wishing to participate in the hearing shall enter with the appearance of the writing of the hearing officer to determine the interest of the party shall allow the entry of the party of the record. Hearing officer will be for the determination same standard with the you with the determinant parity within the circuit court. All participants in hearing shall have the right to represent the council. Hearing officer shall show all the parties of the present statement of the testimony evidence and argument that may be relevant to proceeding. At least one representative of the department shall appear with the hearing held under this section shall be given the opportunity to question on the part of the other illicit information necessary to reach for the decision of the petition. 8. When applicable filing should be addressed with the power of the receipt with the evidence petition may offer the preliminary exhibit to include the document necessary to permit the issue with the hearing of the notice for the proof of the publication or the previously entered into the cause rules made by the pending of the motions any other preliminary matters appropriate with the disposition pre-presumption evidence of the may be addressed evidence admissibility with a permit shall be entered with the present with his or her of the oral documentary evidence submitted with the rebuttal evidence with cross-examination may require with the full and true of the disclosure of the fact with the oral and documentary evidence received with the presiding hearing officer so exclude with the evidence of the relevant matter of the unduly repetitive of the rule evidence of the privilege appeal with the civil case of the courts of the state of Illinois of the file with the further evidence of the not admissible under the rules of the evidence may be admitted except for the precluded by the reasonable and prudent meaning with the conduct of the affair of the subject with the requirements of the hearing with the expedite with the interest of the party with the judge, register with the hearing officer for the trial with the evidence and receive in written form. Official notice with official notice permitted to take with the material of the fact with the not appearing with the evidence of the crime with the circuit court over the state could take with a judicial notice over the fact with in addition to the may be take with a generalized recognize with the technical scientific fact with the department specialized with knowledge. Order of proof the position shall open the proof of the other party of the record shall hear immediately following the position of the hearing officer of the department. The representative may examine the witness for all the cases for the hearing officer designated with the order of the proof may limit the scope examination cross-examination. Brief. The hearing officer shall require all the parties and submit written brief of the hearing officer 10 days after the closing of the hearing with a subsequent other time the hearing officer determined that it can consider the department responsible for the expeditious decision. Records of the proceeding testimony. The department shall provide the expense of the certified shorthand reported down, taken down the testimony and preserve all the records of the proceeding with the hearing of the testifying shall require to do under the oath. Will the unsworn statements of the comments of the observation by interested persons may be heard with the consent of the department and include within the record. Postponement and continuancy of the hearing. Hearing and postponement with the continue with the due with the cause of the hearing officer with his or her motion of the motion with the party with the hearing with the motion filed with the party with the hearing set forth with the fact with the attesting with the request with the contingency with the purpose of the delay is said in the case of the emergency with the motion and the question postponement the contingency shall be made with the writing and the shall be received with all of the parties of the hearing. Default with the party of proper serve with the notice with the failure to appear with the pre-hearing conflict with the hearing with the non-contingency with the grant of the department made with the proceed with the make the decision with the absence of the party with the failure to appear with the such with the pre-hearing conflict with the due with the emergency with the situation beyond with the party control of the department notified of the notified situation before the schedule of the pre-hearing comes with the hearing of the day. Pre-hearing comes with the hearing with the will be continued with the postpone pursuant to section 244-61. Emergency situation included unavailability with the counsel with the sudden illness of the party his or her representing a similar situation with the party's control. The department after the public hearing shall either grant or deny within 20 days of the working after the conclusion of the hearing if the department reformed with the basis of the reservoir geological engineering characteristics modified drilling unit with the necessary with the prevent with the waste to protect correlated for to prevent unnecessary drilling of the well. The department shall enter with the ordering, establishing, modifying drilling unit or units of each order, each specifying the location, each of the drilling unit relative to the land survey system, specifying setback with the drilling unit boundaries, location of the oil, gas well with each of the drilling unit. Terminate 1 year after the effective of the day with unless the well has been drilled with the drilling unit within that time. If the well has been drilled within that time, the order shall terminate when the well is plugged. And the final administrative decision of the director order of the final administrative decision of the department pursuant to section 10 of this act. Okay. 240-465 special drilling unit. Department shall consider the position establishing special drilling unit based on the well density specified in section 244-30A with the maintained drilling unit. Drilling unit cannot be formed utilizing integration provision section 240-132. Unit position petition any person interested in the oil and gas and leaf of the drilling unit. The proposed drilling unit size and shape of the other than that specified in 244-10. Department shall initiate the review of the position, determine the position, except for the permit, except for the public hearing on the schedule of the pursuant of the 244-60E. Contents position shall include with the name of the draft of the position of the legal land, description of the drilling unit, so to be established, description of the position, interest of the oil and gas drilling units at issue, petitioners review the request of the special drilling unit, including submission of the supporting geological engineering data, applicants establish special drilling units proposed and call with the position following the execution public notice of the hearing provisions specified under section 244-60D through N. Okay. Establishing pool-wide drilling use based on reservoir characteristics. Upon applicant of the person having the interest of the oil and gas of the portion of the reservoir of the department shall consider the establish pool-wide drilling unit specified in 244-10 with the part of the portion of reservoir production oil gas. Application establish pool-wide units based on the unit upon reservoir shall be the process in accordance with the 240-133 of this part. Following pool-wide oil spacing with the established with the department, 10 acre spacing with the established with DV and similarly in limestone with section 16, 17, 20, 21, 29 town. And they show the townships for a good sake, 1 through 12. Indeed, I'm following the pool-wide natural gas spacing established department, 160 spacing established within show the spacing of the pool-wide units. And that is the last of spacing over the wells.